Jodeline London is a contemporary jewelry designed and handmade by Josephine Caroline Adebolu. She produces catwalk and diffusion range of exquisite contemporary jewelry pieces and uses them as a means to communicate and express her passion for identity and individuality, encouraging the wearer to stand out from the crowd. Her work includes statement neck pieces, earrings, bracelets, cocktail rings, and cufflinks.
Hello, it's that time again when we enjoy ourselves on the Just If Show, speaking to amazing guests that have a wonderful journey, have been through a wonderful journey, and are on the other side of that journey, still going on to do great things. My guest today is someone who has such a beautiful soul, lovely spirit, and a lovely lady. She's been on the show before a couple of years ago. That was when we were doing our first season. And she's back here because I remember back then I asked her where she saw herself 5 years from then. Well, it's 5 years from then and she's back on the show to tell us her journey from then and where she's going to be in another 5 years. I'd like you to welcome with me Josephine onto the show. Hi, sweetie. Good to have you back.
Good to be back.
And can I just say, this lovely piece that I have on my neck was made by this lady with a very sweet soul.
Thank you.
Oh,
You wear it very well.
thank you.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
Does that mean I can take it home? Very pregnant cough. Good to have you back.
Lovely to be back. Thank you for having me back.
Yes, 5 years.
5 years. Just over 5 years it's been since we did the first interviews. It's been a journey.
Yes, it's been a journey. So we'd like to know, where are you now from then? We're going to go back, right back. But where are you now from then?
I'm still making fabulous jewelry. However, I have grown as a person and as a designer, and I know I've had the opportunity to really work on my craft and develop my skills to a pristine level. So, and it makes me proud of where I am now. I've had the opportunity to work with fantastic teams and be featured in lovely magazines, well-known magazines, Elements magazine, Pride magazine most recently.
Yes, I saw that. That was amazing.
Black Beauty and Black Hair magazine. Yeah, and my work has been featured on Bella Niger Wedding blog.
Yeah.
I think twice. So yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's been
well
wonderful.
done.
Thank
Well done.
you.
Because I was there when you virtually started, and through the
You were there right at the beginning, and I thought I knew what I was getting myself into. But in any creative art, you really you can't go from step 1 to step 5, and you have to follow the sequence. Go from step 1, step 2, step 3, and you've got to be consistent. You can't, if it's really your passion, you can't start today, stop, and I'll pick it up in 3 years. It's it's an ongoing thing, But everybody has challenges, and they might take breaks. They might go on a hiatus and come back to work. But if it really is your passion and you want to make a business of it, it's going to take a lot of hard work. Grueling hard work.
I can imagine that.
Yeah.
Now, the Justice Show has come a long way too from that,
It has.
and we have a new crop of followers that new crop of viewers across the globe now that watch this
amazing.
show. So, for the sake of those who weren't able to watch you 5 years ago, let's go back to the beginning. Growing up years, where were you born?
I
Stuff
was
like
born
that.
in Westminster, London, and I grew up. I spent about 10 years in Nigeria, and then I came back to the UK. So I did the conventional thing, I came back to the UK.
Actually, quite posh, Go on.
I'll carry no. I'll just ignore that. I'm just me, and people tend to say that, but it's just a label. It's just Back to the story. So I came back to the UK, and I did what my parents would want me to do. I, started studying accountancy many, many years ago, dropped out first time, dropped out the second time, dropped out the third time. It wasn't really what I was meant to do. Along those lines, I had a wonderful life then. Back then, I had fantastic, massive wedding. I had a beautiful baby boy. We had a fabulous life. My husband was driving a brand new BMW. I was driving a Mercedes Benz. We had the baby in America. It was just wonderful. And life happened, in the space of about 3 months. Myself and my ex, we split up, and my mum died in the space of three months. So, it was rock bottom, rock bottom. So, I at that time, so I had to take some time. I lost my job. In fact, I lost everything. Things fall apart. You know.
So
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm going to have to pray. What happened between you and your husband? Why
It
the
just
breakup?
it's a very long story. I really won't go into it in much detail, but it wasn't.
He wasn't supportive of what you were doing, or
No,
anything?
because I hadn't started jewelry at that time.
Okay.
It just was a very. It wasn't a very conducive relationship. We're two different people, and it just wasn't working. I mean, he's a wonderful guy, and I'll never take that away from him. But it just wasn't working out for whatever reason. I really don't know, to be honest. There's several reasons, but again, I won't go into much detail. There's really no. It's irrelevant at this point. And so, the major breakdown was when we split up, and then my mom passing away in that short length of time. So that was what really messed me up in the head. So that was, I completely lost everything, and you start to question the fundamental ideas that you have, that society has told you, that life has told you, your community and your culture has told you, and all of that goes uh, into the bin. You start to question everything, right? Back down, take or deconstruct your entire life and take it back to square one. Like, what does this all mean? What's the point of it all? So it was at that time where I'd lost my job, lost everything that you know, I got a hobby by chance, and I taught myself simple beaded jewelry, and from the compliments I got from people and everything, and people asking, so where do you sell your jewelry? And I was like, this is a joker. What do you mean, sir? Sell what? So when I started to, I found out that I actually am good at this. So when I wanted to do it as a business, I thought I should study it properly. So I studied City and Guilds jewelry, a certificate and a diploma. When I did the diploma, I won an award from the British Jewelers Association, and so I knew that this is my thing. And when I started jewelry, I didn't drop out. I flew with it. I was in the workshop. I was a nuisance. I was in the.
Nice way of putting it.
I was at the workshop with my toolbox ready to go. I was the last to leave. Sometimes, I made a nuisance of myself because I loved it. I could do it morning, noon, and night. So. And this jewelry kind of served as some therapy for me. Yeah. It was very therapeutic, and the creative side of it. I was just talking to somebody backstage. It's an interesting journey from nothing, zero, and then an idea, a concept, just an idea that you can't touch or feel, then a 2D, a design, and from a 2D design to a 3D object that somebody can wear and look beautiful like this. It's a fantastic feeling when you give a client something and they're like, oh, 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 the joy is enough, the money is good.
Very, very good.
But the joy I see on clients' faces make it worth it. And I'm making something, putting so much love into it. There's a piece of me going away with somebody. The feeling you can't buy that with money. It's good.
Fantastic.
Thank
Now,
you.
as you're talking, I'm just looking at the piece you're wearing because I can't really see mine.
Me neither.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm like, okay, there's so many
intricacies.
Yes. How does she put it together?
Blood, sweat, and tears. It's labor intensive. It's time consuming, but it's a passion. It's a labor of love. I said it last time. It's
Yes,
a
you
labor
did.
of love.
You said it's a labor of
It's
love.
a labor of love. I like my jewelry says a lot about me. There's a lot of dimension. It's not one dimensional flat. There's a lot going on. There's light and shade. There's multi dimensions. There's contrast. Very, very rough stones with very smooth fabric, and just all those contrasts coming together it creates a synergy, something new, something that people have never seen before. It's something rare.
Now, well, from what you're saying, I don't know what you're saying, but the thing I'm trying to say, okay, she's saying this, it's this, but there's so many tiny bits on that.
There's detail. There's detail. There's so many things about you that people will never know. They need to spend a year with you. So you're like every human being is like a diamond. So many different facets. So many different sides, and that's what makes up you. So in my jewelry, there's so many angles. You can't look at it at one angle. You can't put it in a box either. You can't label it.
Okay, I'm going to tell you something because she's going away now.
Sorry.
No, don't.
This is how I get when I talk about jewelry.
Yes.
When I make it, it feeds my soul.
Awesome. Well, I'm so excited.
Thank you.
The way
And it's lovely to be able to share it with you.
Thank you. It's an honor to even have you here to share your
my
story.
journey.
Yes, it is. It makes me very, very proud. There was somebody I also interviewed a long time ago who had a problem with her kids. Eczema and all of that, and then she out of need, she went to her back garden and started picking stuff and all of that. Yes,
I remember.
And it just made me cry.
I remember
that. Look at.
Don't cry now.
No, I'm not gonna cry now. I'm a big girl now. I'm not gonna cry. So it's a beautiful thing to listen to what you have to say and to actually watch and see. I could never ever get around my head how you put these pieces together. I don't know how you would ever
I said it on the last show. Sometimes I find it hard to believe myself, because when a friend suggested, because it was just by chance that a friend told me, "Oh, why don't let me teach you how to do it?" And I was like, "How? I don't know. I can't imagine, taking a bead and stringing it with the string. I don't think I can do it." Until necessity is the mother of all inventions. When I had the need to do something to pick myself back up again, and that's what led to.
Okay, we'll take a break. When we come back from that break, we're going to take us through some of the pieces that you have here. As quickly as you can, you tell me how you put that together, what together, and all of that. But let's take this quick break. We'll be back after the break.
Different, just like there's only one of you on the planet. When anybody gets a bespoke piece made, it's tailored to the individual. It makes you stand out. No matter how many obstacles you face, or how many challenges you come across, I would say that you just cannot afford to give up. You cannot afford to give up.
Josephine is a graduate with honors in silversmithing and jewelry. Her main inspiration comes from the wonderful contrast that exists in texture, colors, and materials in nature, cultures, and everyday life. She combines different contrasting qualities, rough with smooth, light with dark, hard with soft, to mixed materials and technical processes that result in unpredictable and beautiful, innovative existing possibilities.
You're welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is the Just Eve Show, and I have such a lovely lady here. Oh, she's so sweet, Josephine, and you what your trade name is?
Josephine
London. Yes. We've been talking about her pieces. She's been on the show before from the beginning of her journey, and this is where she is now. So let's have a look at some. I hope I don't step on my dress and fall down. Yes. So let's kind of have. Okay. Now this is what I was talking about. You see all these pieces here. How do you put them together?
They are multi-layered. I have a flat fabric, leather fabric. It could be any fabric. And once I design the base shape, then I start. You can see that there are many, many layers. So what I'll do one layer, do another layer, do another layer, there's several layers, and then I can just dot a few there. So there is Swarovski crystals there, metal beads there, more Swarovski, and then quartz crystals, which is natural gemstone, the clear one, Swarovski crystals, and it's all a mix of it. So a piece like this would take about 2 to 3 days to make, because the base, it looks nice and clean and well finished, but it's everything is hand stitched. So the base, I need to finish it so that it's clean and pristine and presentable. Things, the way I was taught is that the back needs to look just as good as the front. So this is a labor intensive. Every single stone is hand stitched, so it has to be finished properly. So there's layers that sometimes I need to glue one layer at the back. Once I've stitched everything, I need to. So it could take about 2 to 3 days. Yeah. 2 to 3 days.
And I've worn some of this before. It isn't as heavy as it looks.
No, it's quite relatively light. Surprisingly, that's why when I have shows and I have if any kind of events, I always tell people, pick it up. Pick it up, try it, pick it up. Because people are like, oh, it looks heavy. You don't know. Try, pick it up. So they get intimidated by how intricate it looks. But I always encourage people, you can't just pick it up, feel it, try it on.
And when they try it on, they don't want to take it off. Now let's talk about the rings.
Like one of these.
Yes, I'm even afraid to touch it, but yeah. Look at that.
So because I studied silversmithing and jewelry, I studied metal smithing, working with metal. So this is sterling silver that's 24 karat gold plated, and then I put the Swarovski beads on top. So now I start with metal wire, and I shape it up, and then solder it in place, get the shape I want, clean it, sand it, and then I take it to the gold plater. So once that's finished, then I can put the Swarovski crystals on top. So every single...
They don't spoil it, do they? When you take it to them, it stays the way you want it.
It does, because once I've soldered it, nothing can touch it, or it's just fine. Some of these have been on photo shoots. It's gone underwater, and so they're fun. As long as when something is well made, not it's as durable as it can be. So. Yeah, so once it's gold plated, then I can put the Swarovski bits on top. So this one for this show, I just glued these on this morning. So and every single one, just like the one that you wore before, every single one is completely different. And when I'm making a bespoke piece for you, this is what it would look like on, by the way.
Oh wow! Is that what? Oh, it would look like. Oh,
So
actually, they're quite different.
Yeah, they're completely
No,
different.
no, you're saying it. I wouldn't. Oh.
So these are my cocktail rings, and they're very, very unique. They stand out. If you want to get noticed, you want to wear one of these.
I actually thought they were all the same, but just different colors. But looking at it up close, they're different.
Every single one of them is completely different. Just like there's only one of you on the planet. When anybody gets a bespoke piece made, it's tailored to the individual. It makes you stand out. Exactly. That's
okay. Let me ask. Let's sit back down.
Okay.
Let me quickly ask, because we soon have to go. If for instance, now what I'm wearing, right? If a friend of mine says, "Oh, I like this," will you get it exactly like this?
Authentically, as an artist, no. There'll be a slight variation, because if you've worn it, you want yours to stay unique to you. They might say, "Oh, they want it," and they want it. It's going to end up slightly different, because they will want something different. So they won't want exactly what you want. And even if they want something like yours, there's always a variation. To make it unique to that person. I tend never to make exactly the same thing. So I have some ready-to-wear pieces, which is fine if people want to wear certain things that they find something that they like, and probably doesn't take that long to make, and so I have a ready-to-wear collection, which I didn't have at the time when I was speaking to you. So
Fantastic.
yeah, thank you.
Amazing.
Thank you.
You've come
It's
a
been
long way. So just quickly before we go, the pieces that you have, are they sold outside the UK or just in the UK? Do you have clients?
I have a few clients outside the UK. I intend to get more of those, and they're just exclusive clients. It's really for the discerning customer who appreciates the labor that goes into it, the skill that goes into it, and the time that it takes to make.
And how meticulous you are, making sure that every piece fits in.
I'm using the finest materials. I don't shortcut on anything, So yeah, I have some exclusive clients outside of the UK, in the US, in Africa, Nigeria, and Tanzania. A lady,
So you don't have a website or anything where these pieces.
I'm all over the social media. You
and
just Google Josephine London. I'm on Instagram. I have a Facebook business page and a website as well.
Fantastic. I'm sure we'll put all those details on the screen.
Of course.
Unfortunately, we don't have much time. They're already signaling me to get out of here. But just before you go, I'd like you to look into that camera and say something to the young people to inspire them. You've been through a lot, and it was when you were rock bottom that all this came about. Yeah, so just say something to them.
To everyone out there who thinks that they're going through something difficult, if you can just hang in there, have a bit of consistency. If you're in a business, you just have to hang in there. And if you're starting a business, or you're already in business, and no matter how many obstacles you face, or how many challenges you come across, I would say that you just cannot afford to give up. You cannot afford to give up. I would say you just got to be consistent. Difficult times pass, and it's always worth it in the end. You only realize that in the end, it's always worth it in the end. So you just have to hang in there. You just have to keep, not necessarily struggling, but just keep going, and difficult times will pass, and what you get at the end of it is something amazing. So
thank you.
You're very welcome.
Thank you so much. Oh my heart, I have to come. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. I'm proud of you too.
Thank you. I'm really proud of you, because like we said, I was there at the beginning, and you've come so far. So let's ask the question again. In the next 5 years, where would you be? You haven't thought about it?
In the next 5 years, I would love to have my jewelry stock in boutiques globally. That's my dream for the next 5 years, and of course to have improved and developed as an artist, and maybe watch this space, because I've started to play around with clothes as well.
Oh, okay. So you heard it here first. Watch this space.
Yeah.
Thank you so much
You're
for coming
welcome.
on the
Thank
show.
you very much.
I'm going to give you another hug again. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I don't need to ask. Next 5 years, you'll definitely be back here.
I look forward to it.
Yeah, but then we would have expanded to
that would be wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Oh well, time is fast spent. We've got to go. I'm sure you enjoyed yourself watching the show today. Stick around next time, because the Justice Show will be back. I remain Evelyn Abajo. Goodbye and God bless.